The secret footage. 2:47 p.m. 2:47 p.m. The Batman technical crew had finished the official filming of the crossover episode with the Green Hornet. The fight scene between Robin and Kato was complete. It ended in a draw, just as the script demanded. But something unusual was happening in the studio's private dressing rooms. Executive producer William Dozier had called a secret meeting with only 5 people. Bruce Lee, Burt Ward, director of photography Howard Schwartz, the lead cameraman, and himself. "Gentlemen," Dozier began, closing the dressing room door and checking that the hallway was empty, "I have a proposal that will never leave these 4 walls." Bruce Lee, still dressed in his full Kato uniform, black mask, hat, gloves, crossed his arms and listened with absolute intensity. Ward, sitting in a chair in his red and green Robin suit, looked curious but visibly nervous after spending the entire day being intimidated by Bruce's silent stares. Dozier continued, choosing his words carefully. "We all know the scene we just filmed is diplomatic. The draw satisfies the network, it satisfies the sponsors, and it satisfies both shows." He paused deliberately, letting the tension grow. "But it's not realistic, is it? And every person in this room knows exactly what would happen in a real confrontation between a martial artist of Bruce's level and an actor with basic karate training." An awkward silence filled the room. Ward nervously adjusted his cape, waiting for the blow he knew was coming. Bruce remained completely motionless, his expression impossible to read behind his mask. Schwartz, the DP, leaned forward, intrigued by the direction of the conversation. The lead cameraman checked his watch. They had stage 7 reserved for only 40 more minutes. "Where are you going with this, William?" Bruce asked in a calm voice, but with an edge of genuine curiosity. Dozier looked directly at Bruce with the intensity of a man making a risky bet. "I want to film a second version of that fight. A version that will never see the light of day. No network restrictions, no diplomatic compromises, and no forced draw." He let the words drop like stones in water. "I want to film the combat as it would really be if Kato fought at full capacity against Robin. I want to preserve on film what a real martial artist can do before Hollywood forces you to dilute your skill for a mass audience." Ward stood up abruptly, his cape fluttering. "You want me to be a punching bag on camera?" Dozier shook his head emphatically. "No, Burt. I want you to give absolutely everything you have. Use every technique you've learned, every move you know. Fight with the real intention to win." He paused. "But Bruce doesn't hold back like he had to in the version we just filmed for ABC. Bruce shows what he can really do." The proposal. Bruce took off his Kato mask for the first time in hours, revealing a pensive expression. "Are you talking about a historical archive? A private document?" Dozier nodded with growing enthusiasm. "Exactly that. Look, Bruce, everyone in Hollywood knows you're special. I've seen the Long Beach footage, I've seen your private training, I've talked to Jay Sebring about what they witnessed, but everything on television is sanitized." He gestured with frustration. "Slow motion, safe angles, choreographed moves to make Adam and Van look good. No one has captured the truth of what you can do in combat." Schwartz chimed in with technical excitement. "We would use high-speed film, 96 frames per second. We could capture every micro-movement, every transition, every application of force. It would be an invaluable document for future martial arts students." And he added, "We'll film from 3 angles simultaneously. Full coverage of the event." Burt walked to the dressing room window, looking out at the studio lots and processing the proposal. "And what do I get out of being humiliated in a film that will live forever in some archive?" Bruce spoke before Dozier could respond, his voice carrying genuine respect. "Burt, I've watched you train. You have a brown belt under Ed Parker, a respected instructor. You have solid fundamentals, excellent flexibility, and decent speed for your size." He paused. "I wouldn't humiliate you. I would dominate you, yes, because I have 20 years of daily training against your 3 years of occasional practice, but I would show respect for your skill while demonstrating the difference in levels." Burt turned, looking at Bruce directly. "How much time to prepare?" Dozier checked his watch. 30 minutes. Stage 7 is ready now. After that, another project moves in and we lose the chance." He added, "And Burt, if you do this, I'll pay you $500 in cash today. Off the books, no one will know." The money was tempting, but Burt looked at Bruce, weighing the sincerity of his promise of respect. Bruce added an offer of his own. And after this, I will train you personally. 2 sessions a week for a month. I'll teach you what really works in combat, not just pretty forms for tournaments. He extended his hand to Bert. You have my word that this will be a demonstration of technique, not a personal humiliation. You're a brave actor for even considering this. Bert looked at the extended hand for a long moment, ego battling fear and curiosity winning over both. Finally, he shook Bruce's hand firmly. All right, I'll do it. But I want a copy of the film afterward. Stage 7. The Unfiltered Combat. They walked through the back hallways of ABC Studios toward Stage 7, avoiding the main areas where the Batman crew was still dismantling the official set. They arrived at the heavy metal door marked Stage 7, Authorized Personnel Only. Inside, the space was cavernous. A circle approximately 10 meters in diameter was marked with white tape on the floor. 3 Mitchell cameras were positioned in a perfect triangle. Schwartz explained the technical setup. Camera 1 at north for the wide angle. Camera 2 at east for mid-shots. Camera 3 at south for extreme close-ups and micro-expressions. We're shooting at 96 frames per second. When projected at 24, we'll have slow motion at a quarter of real speed. In your marks, Dozier called out. Bert adopted a classic Shotokan karate stance. Bruce adopted his Jeet Kune Do stance. Lateral relaxed like a compressed spring. Begin. For a few minutes it was a masterclass. Bert attacked with everything: jabs, crosses, and his signature high roundhouse kick. Bruce moved with an economy of motion that made it look like he was floating. He intercepted kicks, parried punches, and at one point landed 5 phantom punches in 2 seconds, stopping inches from Bert's face. That is real speed, Bruce explained. In the TV version, I dropped to 40% so the cameras can catch it, and you look competent blocking. Bert tried one last desperate move, a flying kick. Bruce simply stepped aside, let Bert pass, and then closed the distance with Wing Chun chain punches and a controlled palm strike to the sternum. Bert staggered back, feeling real impact for the first time. Unreal. Do you feel the difference? Bruce affirmed. That was 70% power. At 100%, I would have broken the sternum. Bert touched his chest, realizing he had been living in a TV fantasy world where hits never really hurt. Dozier checked the timer. 5 minutes elapsed. Continue. Bert nodded, determination overriding the pain. I can still fight. Bruce respected his will, but knew the demonstration was almost complete. Last sequence. Now I'm going to show you the secret footage of Stage 7. What Kato would really do if Robin were a serious threat. He adopted a more aggressive stance, weight shifted forward. Bert tried to brace himself, but no real preparation was possible. Bruce closed the distance in a burst of speed that made his previous movements look slow. A straight punch to the solar plexus, contact was controlled but enough to double Bert over. As Bert bent forward, Bruce executed a controlled knee strike, stopping inches from Bert's face. 1. Then, a sweep that took both of Bert's legs out simultaneously. Bert fell backward, and before he hit the ground, Bruce caught him by the uniform, controlled his fall, and lowered him almost gently. 2. He knelt beside Bert with his hand in a throat strike position, stopping millimeters before contact. 3. Fight over. 3 moves in less than 4 seconds total. Absolute domination. The cameras captured the entire sequence from 3 angles. Schwartz knew he had cinematic gold. When they processed the film in slow motion, every micro-transition would be visible, and every application of technique preserved for posterity. Dozier helped Bert sit up. Are you okay? Bert nodded, more shocked than hurt. I'm fine, I just need a minute. Bruce sat on the floor next to Bert, removing his Kato mask completely and showing a serious but not arrogant face. You did well, Bert. Better than most actors would have. You didn't back down, you didn't give up easily, and you maintained professional composure. Bert laughed humorlessly. Professional composure? You just dominated me completely in less than 6 minutes. Bruce shook his head. 6 minutes against someone who has trained 8 hours a day since the age of 13. There is no shame in that. He pointed toward the cameras. This shows the difference between an actor doing his best and a lifelong martial artist. Both roles are valid. Dozier called Schwartz and the camera operators to the center. Gentlemen, The film you just captured will never leave the studio vault, but it is an invaluable historical document. He looked at each person sternly. No one speaks of this, not to wives, not to friends, not to other crew members. This remains an absolute secret. Everyone nodded in solemn agreement. Schwartz asked, "When do we process the film?" Dozier considered. "Tomorrow at a private lab off-site. I don't want any ABC technicians seeing this and asking questions." The aftermath and the legend. Bert stood up slowly, feeling muscles he didn't know he had. "Can I see the result when it's processed?" Bruce answered before Dozier could, his voice carrying genuine respect. "You should see it. I'll show you exactly what you did right, and what you need to improve for our training sessions." He extended his hand, helping Bert steady himself. "And I will keep my promise, 2 sessions a week for a month. We start next Tuesday." Bert shook his hand. "I'm going to be so sore tomorrow." Bruce smiled. "Yes, but it is the pain of learning, not of injury. Important difference." Dozier pulled a thick manila envelope from his jacket pocket. "Bert, as promised, $500 in cash, and thank you for your bravery." He handed him the envelope. Bert felt the weight of the bills. It was 3 weeks' worth of Batman's salary. Was the humiliation worth it? Dozier asked with a smile. Bert replied honestly, "Yes. I learned more about real combat in 6 minutes than in 3 years of weekend karate classes." He looked at Bruce. "And I gained a real teacher, not a McDojo instructor." Bruce nodded with approval. "That is the right attitude. Ego teaches you nothing. Humility opens the doors to learning." The camera operators began dismantling the equipment. The film reels were carefully labeled. Private Archive, March 67 Live Lab. Schwartz supervised the packing. "I will process this personally tomorrow. No one else touches the film." Dozier checked his watch. "We have 5 minutes before the next production needs the stage. Clean up every trace that we were here." The group worked quickly, removing floor tape, resetting lights, and checking for personal gear. In 10 minutes, Stage 7 looked exactly as it had before. Bruce put his Kato hat back on. "Back to the main set. I still have closing scenes to film with Van." Bert donned his Robin cape, though the movement made his back muscles protest. "Me too. Adam is probably wondering where I was." Dozier stopped them before they left. "Remember, if anyone asks where you were for the last hour, you were in the dressing room resting between takes. Simple story, no details." They left Stage 7 in separate groups, avoiding being seen together. Bruce walked down the hall as if nothing had happened. He crossed paths with Adam West, who asked, "Where have you been, Bruce? We were looking for you." Bruce replied casually, "Resting in the dressing room. Long day." Adam suspected nothing. The secret history. Weeks passed. Dozier received the process film in a sealed envelope. They met in Dozier's private office after hours. They closed the curtains and started the 16mm projector. The film, shot at 96 frames per second and projected at 24, created perfect slow motion. Every move Bruce made was a poem of efficiency. "This is extraordinary," Dozier murmured. Hollywood had never captured a real martial artist operating at full capacity. Schwartz pointed out technical details. "Look at frame 143. You can see how Bruce transfers weight from his back foot to the front during the strike. Pure power generation from perfect body mechanics." Dozier finally turned off the projector. "No one can ever see this. It would destroy Batman's image. It would ruin Bert's career. It would cause massive PR problems." Schwartz agreed but added, "But we can't destroy it either. It's too valuable as a historical document." Dozier thought for a long moment. "My personal vault, then, stays under lock and key until, I don't know when." Years passed. The Green Hornet was cancelled. Batman ended in 1968. Bruce returned to Hong Kong and became a global legend before his tragic death in 1973. William Dozier kept the secret until his own death in 1991. In his will, he left instructions. The archive was to go to the University of California, but with a 50-year restriction on certain content. To this day, the film remains in a university vault, waiting for the year 2041. Archivists noted the cans in 1992 but followed Dozier's orders. Do not open. Do not project. When that film is finally revealed, martial arts experts will be stunned. They will see the speed that legends described but was never adequately captured on screen. More importantly, they will see respect. Bruce never humbles Bert to be a bully. He is a teacher, even in total domination. The secret story isn't about a 6-minute fight. It's about a truth filmed but hidden for 74 years. It's about the producer who had the vision to preserve greatness, even when the system didn't recognize it. When the projector finally illuminates that film in 2041, the audience will see Bruce Lee without a filter, the reality behind the icon.